Hey guys, so for today's cake, it is a really fun sports theme and it's for a sports crazy boy. And the reason why I can say that is because it's for my son. Bless his little heart. He is obsessed with football and basketball. And so he chose this cake design. And so what it is a 6-inch barrel on the bottom. And then we're going to be doing a 4-inch cake on the top. And so this is just my crumb coat. I make sure it's all nice and straight. And then I'm going to pop it in the fridge. And so for a little trick on my 4-inch, I will tell you right now that what I personally like to do is put the filling in. So just right here, I'm putting in the filling and then I actually pop it in the fridge for about 30 minutes just so that buttercream can set. And so that way it's not so flimsy. But if you don't want to do that step, then you can absolutely use a dowel or a straw just to keep it in place. So either way works, just make sure that you get your crumb coat cold before you proceed to the next step. So this is my final coat of buttercream. And just so you know, if you haven't seen my buttercream tutorials, if you are not familiar with how to get your buttercream whiter, the biggest recommendations that I have is to use a clear vanilla and then also to use a tiny drop of purple food coloring. And then if you really want to step it up a notch, then you can actually add some white food coloring as well. That is what I prefer to do, but honestly, you can get away with just a tiny bit of purple food coloring because that will cancel out the yellow. So once my buttercream has set, I always cut off my edges with just putting my knife in hot water, and then I always try to clean up any imperfections on the side. Just again with the hot water trick, so I just leave my offset spatula in some hot water and I wipe off the excess, and then that way I can clean everything up. And so when I am stacking tiers like this and they are taller than normal, I do like to use a skewer to secure them together, and then I just use straws for the bottom tier to be able to support that weight. So the next day was his party, and as always, I was running late. So I was kind of in a scramble, but it was okay. So I did make the letters and the numbers out of chocolate, and the way that I was actually able to do it is I had a Cricut cutter and I just printed off the numbers and the letters, and so I traced them just with a little bit of my chocolate. I just used the Wilton melts, and so it works perfectly when you just melt it, put it on parchment paper, and then I just traced it. And so again, with my little Amazon balls, you guys, I swear I'm obsessed with these things, but they make the cutest little accents. And so then I made some chocolate footballs, and then I ended up piping some grass, but I also ended up piping some black onto the orange balls. And so, I mean, you can do cake pops if you like, but truthfully, I love how it turned out, and my little boy felt so spoiled. And my favorite thing about these cakes is honestly, if you have a blank foundation like the white 2-tiered that I just did, you can add anything. And so you can easily change it to any kind of birthday cake or a beautiful wedding cake. And so I really hope that these guidelines help you on your next cake adventure, and I know you can do it.